Welcome, kings and queens. We are back, y'all, and we are talking P. Diddy because as the world turns, honey, so does these lawsuits, these accusations that are coming out. And these women who were once girls, they're coming out the bushes and they're saying, Me too. Hashtag me too. And after the third lawsuit, you know what? Let me say civil suit. P. Diddy's reps actually came out and they are claiming that these civil suits are fabricated claims of misconduct from over 30 years ago. And they feel like, well, what they're saying is it's a money grab. It's a money grab, and that Sean Puffy Combs is being unfairly targeted by anonymous accusers who lie for financial gain. Now, P. Diddy, I'm going to need you in your camp to rethink how you want to paraphrase that, how you want to put those words together. Over 30 years ago, sir, it's called Can't No Right Come From Doing Wrong. It's called What Goes On in the Dark Will Come to Light. It's called It's Just Now Catching Up with You. It's called Leave No Stone Unturned. It's called Payback is a Motherfucker. It's called Karma is Here. It's called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. That's what's happening. All your shit is catching up with you. Now, let me ask you all this. Do you feel like there should be a statute of limitations when it comes to how long ago something happened that a person, a victim, could bring a civil suit and or criminal charges against the perpetrator? And I'm asking that for a reason. But I also, as I'm thinking through things, I want to talk about the parents. I think I have a different take on this. But before I share my thoughts, for those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Now, I have to be honest, I don't think Sean Puffy Combs is being unfairly targeted. I think you did it in every aspect, every way. And now that the industry is being parted like the Red Sea, and you're having men. See, here's the thing. When the men step up, the women feel comfortable. And now that more men are coming out to confirm and validate these claims made by Cassie, the women, the anonymous accusers, are, in my opinion, they're feeling more confident and safe regarding sharing their story. So I don't think it's fabricated. However, anything that's dealing with RAPE, I don't care if it's 30 years ago, they have a right to tell their story. Now, depending on the details of everything that went down, could it be possible money grabs? So, we can expect all kind of folks to come out the woodworks when it comes to the likes of P Diddy and all of these monsters in Hollywood. But you know what? That's what you get. That's what y'all get for preying on women, taking advantage of women and doing shit because you can and because you are in a particular income bracket. So come what may. Come what may. Now, here's the interesting part. I want to talk about let me talk about the parents. Many of these women's Many of these women are claiming that they were minors when the assaults, the attacks, the engagement, the sexual encounters happened to them. And some with the likes of what's his name? Aaron Hall's baby mama. She was 16 years old when he impregnated her. First of all, that's statutory rape. Let's pause there. And she had his child. So we can probably assume that she had the child while she was still 16 because it takes 9 months, right, for a baby to form in the womb. You grow to full term, you give birth. So either she was 16, towards the end of 16, almost 17 when she gave birth. And she's saying this is real. The industry, these men are predators. They are violators of young girls. Not only did it happen to me, but I've seen it happen to other victims. My first question is, should the parents be held liable? If the parents were aware that their minor daughters were being taken advantage of sexually by these grown men, should they be held liable in the court of law if the perpetrator is found guilty? What are your thoughts? That's a deep one. If the perpetrator, by the likes of a P Diddy, Jamie Foxx, I'm just throwing out the names, some of the lawsuits that are out there, Aaron Hall, let's just say the law wants to take this into their own hands and prosecute them for any reason during the discovery phase. If they come to find that the parents have full knowledge of these inappropriate sexual encounters, should they be held accountable, and should they go to jail too for turning the other cheek? I say yes. How come Aaron Hall's child's mother, once they found out that a grown man impregnated her, she was 16, he was in his 30s, how come you did not file charges on him? That's my question to you as parents. Is it because he's a man with influence, money, and somewhat power? I'm going to say yes. If I had to use my common ass sense, because if he was broke as a joke, if he was as broke as a joke, and any Tom, Dick, and Harry from the street that impregnated your child, I feel like you would have been at the nearest police station writing out a full detailed report. So did you hesitate because of the financial potential? That's my first question. In your opinion, for those of you that are listening, do you think it was money? Do you think they have full knowledge? Do you think the child just came in one day pregnant, didn't tell? Because I don't know. I just want to hear your thoughts on that. But I am of belief that if parents are aware in situations like R. Kelly, no, bro. If you're sending your kids off to meet these celebrities, stay with these celebrities, and later on it comes to surface that they have been violated, you too. See, we got a Me Too. Now we need a hashtag you too should go to jail. You too should be prosecuted, because that's going to force some people out the bushes. You cannot reap the benefits, the financial benefits of these predators, right? By handing your kids over and turning the other cheek and pretending that you did not know. That's unfair to your children. The psychological, the physical harm that they incur, they're not of age to consent. They're not even fully developed to consent. I want to cover really quickly Aaron Hall's child's, the mother of Aaron Hall's child. I don't even, that sounds so nice when we say that, because when we say the mother of his child, typically that's a consensual relationship. And I really want to put heavy emphasis on she was 16 when he took her sexually, took her. Because in the United States of America, that's illegal. And when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. You do not sleep with children. But y'all, you got little Black boys and girls being molested in our community each and every day. And they are forced to not talk about it because we don't talk about it. There's this phenomenon in the African American community where we don't talk about what goes on in this household. And as a result, those generational behaviors, because I'm not going to call them curses, they're choices and behaviors, they're handed down each generation after each generation after each generation. And for those of you that are tuned in, if you really want to know how to empower yourself and the generation after you, the first thing to do to interrupt that hypnotic rhythm, that toxic rhythm, is you talk about it. That's the first thing. The second thing is you get help by way of therapy. Kids, young adults that are abused that do not receive therapy and or what intensive intervention are more likely to be predators themselves, or their children are likely to become victims of predators when you do not get help. It's not enough for you to be quiet and say, okay, I'm going to live my peaceful life. I'm going to go to church. What happened to me was horrible, but I'm going to protect my children. You can't. That's the word. because you've got to do something to interrupt the paradigm. Last but not least, I want to kind of give a head nod to Diddy's former head of security. And Cassie actually named him in her documented civil suit against P Diddy, and she said that he cried with her after witnessing abuse. And he speaks out, and he said, "I seen it, I saw it, and I was involved in it for years." Okay, and he tried to intervene to stop Puffy, but he wasn't able to. And he says this is not, he made a public statement recently. He said this is not meant to be threats or snitching or anything like that against Cassie or Diddy or anyone else. This is me telling my truth as I truly remember it for two reasons only. First, because I have four daughters. So on all dudes, my truth as I seen it. I don't know, dudes. Maybe he meant on all levels. I don't know. He said, I seen it, saw it, and was involved with it for years. Yeah. Uh, I would like to know more about regarding why you continued employee with bad being an employee with Bad Boy Entertainment. Just out of curiosity, not out of attacking you, but just out of curiosity. Because see, when you come to the forefront and you open up and you start to talk about it and open the dialogue, I think it's healthy because maybe this will help other people that do work for people like this. If you explain why, maybe that'll give us more knowledge or a deeper understanding. I don't even want to say a better understanding. Um, but yeah, Cassie named him in her civil suit, and she said he did try to intervene. So hats off for that. But I just really would like to have a one-on-one conversation with him to really know what that feels like from him being in the thick of things as the head of security. And how did you like, how were your days? Were you worried like when you left? Just how does all of that work for you psychologically, mentally, and emotionally? Is this the first one you saw? You said years. Did it transition from Kim Porter to Cassie? Just so many questions. But I'm so happy that people are speaking out. This is a huge win for women. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna give it about 1 year to 5 years. Puffy will be lucky if he's still here. I think he's pissed off a lot of people, and he may have. See, this isn't about the powers that be. He may have touched the wrong person's child. See, y'all got to look below the surface and dig a little bit deeper. See, they don't care. The powers that be will give us over to each other. We can devour each other. But he just may have touched the wrong person's child, and they're choosing to deal with it on their own accord. They're going to expose him first and they're going to deal with him later. That's what I'm of belief. And I give it 1 to 5 years because things like this are not taken too lightly. And where there's smoke, there's normally fire. There's somebody sitting on top that's not too pleased with you, Puffy, and they're coming for you. I don't know who it is and I don't know why, but I have a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion that you've gotten beside yourself and you didn't touch the wrong person's daughter. What are your thoughts? Let's take it to the chat.